Welcome back to the Tech Zone. Paul Amadeus Lane, your czar of technology. And if you missed our first segment, you can always catch up. You don't want to miss that. We gave a huge shout out to Jim Berry, who recently passed away from the Consumer Technology Association. I knew Jim for years, and in my career, he's really helped me out when it comes to knowing things about tech just by talking to him and being able to spend some time with him at CES. Well, as you all know, last year I was invited to be a moderator for the Black Enterprise Tech Connect Summit, and it was truly an honor. I had a chance to be on stage with Ty Ahmad Taylor, who is the CEO of THX, Corey Ralsman from Plantronics. Corey is the, I believe now he's the senior marketing manager, global marketing manager at Plantronics. At the time, he was just the senior marketing manager, so he's moved up. And also Ryan Leslie, producer, artist, joined me on the stage, and we talked about the intersection of entertainment and technology, and it was truly a pleasure. And Black Enterprise had their Tech Connect Summit here recently, and I wanted to have an opportunity to catch up and talk about some of the things that took place during that event and what it meant for the tech world and in general, and some of the things that I wanted to share with you as well. And as you know, Samara Lynn, who's the digital manager over at Black Enterprise, is a frequent guest of the Tech Zone. Guest of the Tech Zone. Yeah, that too. But I had an opportunity to talk to someone else there, another bright mind from Black Enterprise, Selena Hill. And Selena's writings are just amazing. If you get a chance, make sure you Google her, check her out, check out some of the articles on Black Enterprise. One of the bright minds when it comes to just journalism out there. Make sure you check her out. And I had an opportunity to chat with her about in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I am so excited right now to have this young lady join me on the show. I am a huge fan of her writings. You heard me talk about it in an introduction, talking about the beautiful Selena Hill, Black Enterprise Magazine digital editor. Selena, how are you, my dear?
I am very well. Thank you so much for having me, Paul.
You know, Selena, I'm trying not to fanboy right now because I always fanboy out whenever I interview Samara over there. But now that I have you, I'm like fanboying out. So I'm going to try to hold it together. If I lose it a little bit, you'll understand, right?
Okay.
Hey, but Selena, you know what? I'm glad I had you on because in the intro, I talked about the Black Enterprise Tech Connect Summit and how it passed and some of the great feedback in the tech world that we've gotten from that. So I wanted to have you back on to let us know, because you experienced it. You were actually there. Talk about just how energized and how crazy it was being a part of that event.
It was absolutely amazing. You know, it was the 3rd annual Tech Connect. So we had the biggest audience, the biggest crowd ever. Over 600 people came out from across the nation to just really celebrate and uplift Black people of color working in tech. And it was phenomenal. I mean, we had a great lineup of speakers. We had the CEO of Intel. We had the chairman of Microsoft, a long list of names. You had Billy J, who is a veteran in the music industry, and now he and Ray J partnered to create the Scooty bike, which is extremely popular, and he's a techpreneur as well. So, I mean, the lineup goes on and on. You had Tara Reid, Jessica O. Matthews, a number of people. And, you know, from my perspective, obviously I was working behind the scenes as well as covering the event and doing a lot of the interviews. But I did get a chance to speak to some of the people there, and they were just as excited and inspired. You had people who happened to be in the area or in the hotel, and they just like would trickle on in and listen to some of these panels and seminars. And I mean, I think people really walked away empowered. We also had great networking opportunities. Afterward, we had receptions, and you saw people really interacting and engaging with one another, something that we love to promote. And another strong aspect of it was the HBCU students that came out over a dozen HBCU schools participated in our BE Hackathon. And what these students did, it was extremely impressive. They invented models, systems, and devices that would solve a problem that Toyota is supposedly having. So we had Toyota as one of our sponsors, and they said to the students, come up with a solution that would help us attract millennials into our to help attract millennials to come onto the car lots and to like actually interact with us in person to buy a Camry. So the students, I mean, the presentations that they invented, it was remarkable. And the winners of the presentation, they actually invented a device sort of like Siri, and they called it Tasha. And they named it, it had a significant meaning in Japanese, which is where Toyota is headquartered in Japan. So they correlated like the meaning of their device's name to the functionality and the operation. And what it allows you to do is it allowed you to order a customized car model, a customized Camry, like you're talking to Siri. And the demonstration they had, it was ready to go. Like they literally showed us how to order a customized car. And I was blown away. I think, honestly, I really think Toyota might use that idea in a few more months, a few more years. So I told the students, like, make sure, you keep an eye on that because that was it was a great invention.
And Selena, as I hear you explain it, one thing that we can really do in journalism, you can attest to this too. When you interview somebody, you can really tell how passionate they are about what they've seen. And just hearing you describe it, it's like we were there in the audience too, even though some of us were not there. And that seems so phenomenal that the kids were able to do that out there. And being a part of the tech world yourself and really being a part of that event, the third annual Tech Connect Summit, and sitting back behind the scenes and interviewing ones, it had to be like a surreal moment because let's face it, about 10 or 11 years ago, events like this didn't take place. To now have it not only just in the tech world, but in Silicon Valley. Talk about that experience.
Absolutely. It was really empowering just to be there in Silicon Valley with so many people of color. I mean, a number of the speakers that we had, when they were on stage, they said, I've never been in a room filled with so many techies who happen to be Black. And for a lot of them, people who've been working in Silicon Valley or in tech across the world, across the nation, they've been doing this for 10 years or 15 years, they've never been in like a room like this. So it was a phenomenal experience just on that front. And I remember I actually had a chance to host our Tech Connect pitch competition in which we invited 5 phenomenal techpreneurs around the country to come compete for a cash prize and show off their invention and their business. And, when I closed the event, I remember just saying, like, sporadically, I was just like, even though we only could choose one winner, it was so enlightening to have them there because this is the future. And as they scale their businesses up, these are the people who are going to hire more people of color to work in tech and really diversify this industry. So to be a part of that, like I know they're still in their inaugural stages and they're still building, but we saw the future right there. We saw the future in the kids and we saw the future in these young techpreneurs who have also phenomenal businesses and inventions. So I think that was probably like one of the most impactful things to see the future of tech and to see it in color, literally.
And Selena, when we look at the pitch competition, what were some of are you able to share with us some of the ideas that they pitched? And please share their story with us if you can.
Absolutely. Now, I can in no way pitch it as good as they did on the stage. But I'll talk about the winner, Jasmine Crow. She invented, her business is called Gooder. And what she's doing, she's using tech to to close the gap between the hungry and the surplus of food that we continue to throw away every single day here in America. So she came up with this technology, with this app that allows businesses and restaurants and people that want to just throw away food, instead of doing that, they can connect with her, and then she uses that information to connect it with those in need. And she's been going around her city in Atlanta, feeding thousands and thousands of people. And she also partnered with a number of celebrities like Future, the rapper, and other large scale companies. And what we wanted to do, the reason why I think she was chosen as our winner is because with that money, she's going to just scale even larger and build her business so that she can continue to feed people. And I thought it was a brilliant idea. So I wasn't one of the judges, thank God, because it was a tight competition. I'll say that. But like the winner, she was great, great. She had to be like 20 something, 30 something.
Wow.
Seriously, really good.
And you know what, Selena, when it comes to tech, being a techpreneur, a lot of people out there who are not in the tech realm don't realize that that is a piece of technology. To them, technology is, oh, can my TV do this? Can my smartphone do this? Can I go to the Google or Alexa? Can I do all this? But to me, this is the most impactful tech out there when it helps empower people, help people, and to really fill that need. Because I know I just got through judging some of the innovation that's going to be at the CES 2018, and some of the high marks that I gave were for the ones that are really impacting life. I mean, we have all the bright gadgets, we have all this, but to me, if you can impact somebody's life, make sure that someone doesn't go hungry, make sure someone can hear, someone can walk. To me, that is really impactful tech out there.
Absolutely. I mean, to see technology be using to improve and help people's lives, it was phenomenal. And I think that what we're trying to do at Black Enterprise is really expose more people to the power of tech. Because like you said, it's not just to make us like a lazier society, if you will, or, so that we don't, it's not to make us more so codependent on technology, but it's really to help humanity. And I think that a lot of people there, or a lot of techpreneurs in general, they have like that conscious. And that's something that we celebrate here at Black Enterprise and at TechNext.
Well said. And you also talked about some other competitions out there, hackathon. Tell me, because sometimes whenever we talk about hackathons, my email and the Twitter always blows up. They're like, why are you telling people to be criminals? No, it's not that kind of hack. Explaining that, because I know you tried to explain it earlier, but I'm telling you, sometimes people just hear hack and they're like, bam, it's about this. Now, was there anything else at the event that was really impactful? I know last year when I was there,
yes.
when we had like kind of like the break in between after the sessions, just the interaction and the how can I put it, the networking, because I've met some people there that I'm close to today, and I think that's amazing what Black Enterprise has done putting on this event, because you meet friends that you'll continue to know throughout life, and even in the tech world too. Let's say that some of the students getting ready to graduate, they want to try to get an internship, they'll remember that person who they talked to.
Absolutely. And I mean, just to expand on some of the highlights there, we also had Basima St. John. I definitely wanted to make sure we talk about her because we know that she is now Chief Branding Officer at Uber, and she had a very candid conversation just exposing and talking about some of the ills that Uber has faced being a leader in the tech world in Silicon Valley, and some of those challenges happening to be, sexism, racism, lack of diversity. So she talked about her role there and why she finds it so imperative to continue to use Uber as a standard, as an example to diversify tech. So she had a great discussion. We also awarded a number of techies there. We had Alton Glass, who is one of the pioneering Black techies who is using virtual reality to spotlight and to uplift people of color. And he actually has this film that he debuted actually at the American Black Film Festival over the summer. Great film. And using virtual reality, I had the experience while I was there.
Nice.
I put on the glasses and I'm looking all around, and they had this panel discussion and they're talking about how virtual reality is not only being used for entertainment, but they're using this technology to go into Syria and third world countries and just expose like devastation there. So it was like an all-encompassing experience there. And we wrote about Alton. I wrote about that experience while I was at the American Black Film Festival. We wrote about him earlier this year. And then we had a chance to really award him for his innovation and what he's doing and how he's helping, again, the betterment of our humanity through his creation, through his imagination, and bringing that into fruition through tech. So that was another, highlighting moment. We also gave an award to Spectacular. Some people may know him from the R&B group Pretty Ricky,
Oh
but
yeah.
he's yeah, he's doing phenomenal things in tech too. And we gave him an award. We gave Karen Civil an award. She actually won the Social Influence Award because she has a huge following on social media. And besides managing different brands and different businesses, she's been doing a lot when it comes to philanthropy. She opened up a computer lab in Haiti. So we awarded her for, using tech or empowering others through tech as well. Yeah, so I think that it was definitely a lot to take in those 2 days, but there were different aspects of it. And it was all about celebrating, uplifting, and informing people of color in tech. And just to add on, we also had Sarah Reed. She's the founder of Coding Without Apps. Oh, I think I may have messed up the name of her company, but basically what she does is she teaches people who are non-technical how to build apps as simple, like without using a line of code. So we had her give a presentation, and it was great. It was great. And she, even though she considers herself a non-technical person, like she worked at Google, she worked at Microsoft, and now she's a techpreneur, and she's empowering other people to take their businesses and get them online. A lot of times we see people who want to open up, maybe it's a traditional mom and pop store, or, they take the traditional route in small business, but we're showing people that this is how you can get into the tech world. You don't need to be intimidated by tech. You don't need to be fearful of trying to make an app or think it's overwhelming. No, it's actually can be a simple process, and she walked people through it. So we were very happy to give her a platform to do that.
Well said, because I know some of my friends out there who are a part of not only the Black community, like I'm a part of, but also the disabled community. I'm trying to get a lot of my partners out there who got bright minds. I'm like, think about inventing something that can make our lives better, and they are inspired when they hear different stories of ones who do that. Because I tell you, our minds and where we're at in the Internet of Things right now, we can accomplish some great things, and all we got to do is just try. And talking to a lot of techpreneurs out there, when we pick their brain, you find out that they had a need and they had a desire. They're like, I'm going to do this, and we're so happy that ones are doing that. And Selena, one panel really got a lot of buzz out there. That was a panel that Anthony Frazier was on. And let's talk a little bit about that panel, because I thought that was really dynamic. All of them were dynamic, but I think that one right there really struck a nerve with ones out there.
Absolutely. So that panel, it started off with Anthony having a fireside chat with Tony Profit, who's the chief officer of equality at Salesforce. And before that, he was one of the leading Black entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley. And, Tony kept it real. He talked about the challenges of that Black people faced in Silicon Valley, and he also talked about how he's using Salesforce to really become, not that a great equalizer, but using it as a power of good to help other people when it comes to tech. And he also empowered other companies to do the same thing. Like, for instance, he said, besides just focusing all your effort on recruiting people of color, why not tap into data and analytics and see what's your policy when it comes to fair pay practices? Are the women and the men getting paid the same amount or fair amounts of fair salaries, which is another issue in Silicon Valley, making sure that men and women are paid equally. So, he really gave some resources, a lot of tools to help not just small businesses, but even large-scale businesses become really become champions for equality. And then the second part of that panel, we invited about 4 other young Black techpreneurs or people working in tech to talk about diversity and inclusion. And they all shared their perspectives on what can be done and what should be done in order to, help Silicon Valley become a place that's more reflective of the real world, right? and how we can start by, targeting youth, targeting our children, making sure that they're exposed very early on to code and to different aspects of technology, and that they're not just utilizing the technology, but they're using their creative skills to make it. So, those were other really some other key points that were stressed during that panel.
I tell you, Selena, we all should have been there to see it live, because I'm telling you, it was really, really dynamic. I was reading some of the writing on it, some of the write-ups, and I was like, wow, that was really like a mic drop moment there at the Tech Connect Summit, because it dealt with the real, like what's out there, what we deal with every day, and your writing was just amazing on it. Now, before I let you go, is there anything else you'd like to articulate out there about the Tech Connect Summit, something we didn't touch on? Anything else you'd like to bring out?
Absolutely. So we already started working on 2018 Tech Connects. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. We're working on getting some keynote speakers as we speak right now, because I think that after we left Tech Connects just last week, we came back so inspired that our VP of Digital, Shelly Jones, was just like, let's start now and make sure that our next Tech Connect Summit is not only bigger and better than last year, but it can be more inclusive, right? We can get the word out and more people can attend and just be there for the experience, because, as you know, Paul, you've been there, and you know that it's one thing to watch it online, like we live streamed every single session, or at least most of them, but it's another thing to actually be there and to feel it, and then to connect with the people in person. A lot of our speakers are very accessible. Like, they spent time roaming the reception and just talking and then, just sharing their thoughts with the other attendees. So that's what we're working on now. The 2018 Tech Connects is coming soon, so watch out.
Awesome. Definitely looking forward to it. And how can ones catch up with you, check out some of the writings that you've been doing, some great articles too? How can they connect with you?
Absolutely. So you can find me on blackenterprise.com. All of my writings are listed under my name, Selena Hill. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Miss Selena Hill, and I spell Miss M-S.
Awesome. Awesome. That sounds good. And connect with her on social media, Twitter, and all those other great platforms too. Now, is your Twitter the same as your Instagram?
Yes, they're both Miss Selena Hill. M-S Selena Hill.
Awesome. And Selena, before I let you go, I need for you to do something for me, because I forgot to do this last year. I don't know how I forgot about it, but as I'm talking to you, I just want to let everyone know out there just the class act that you guys have over there at Black Enterprise. Now, a lot of people who follow me, they know my story, they know my situation, but you guys made me feel so comfortable, even had a ramp up to the stage. I mean, I want you to take that back to the powers that be and tell them I truly appreciate that. The disabled community appreciates that. And also just you guys are class act, and I wish you nothing but success and continue doing those great events, because I know other events out there that you guys put on too. And make sure you go to blackenterprise.com and follow them. But thank you so much, and it's been an honor talking to you, my dear.
Paul, it has been an honor for me to be on your show. Thank you so much for having me. I will definitely translate that message. And I mean, we can't promote diversity and inclusion if we're not inclusive of all Americans. And we know that, we need to be cognizant of not the challenges, but making sure that we don't put unnecessary obstacles and for people to get around or to interact. So that's the least we can do to have you at the conference.
Well, you guys definitely talk the talk, and you guys walk the walk, and I want to have you on soon. I know I got Samara on coming on pretty soon, but I'm gonna get you back too. Great chatting with you. All right.
Okay, sounds good.
Once again, a huge shout out to Selena Hill, digital editor over Black Enterprise, and I just want to give Black Enterprise a huge shout out with the accessibility that they have, the journalists that they have. They're always there for me when I want to talk to them. And in this business, sometimes, journalists want a big time. I've reached out to many before, and for some reason, they don't like me. But the Black Enterprise magazine, they love me. So thank you so much for always being accessible for the show, and also other ones out there. I don't want to throw shade on all the journalists out there. I've had some good ones from other organizations too. But make sure you check them out. And hey, when we get back, we're going to talk to a tech giant out there from the Consumer Technology Association. We're going to talk about some events they have coming up leading up to CES 2018. Who is it? You have to stay tuned. We'll be right back with more show after this.